And it's recording.
Okay, so I want you to look back to the picture of the fireflies.
Oh, where was that?
That was way in the front.
This page. It's really dark.
Yeah, it's not the best picture, but you can see though, right, where the rear part of their abdomen is where the luciferin is located, right? And that's where all the light comes from. Do you always do this, like when you're looking at something, always going back and like matching the reading to the pictures?
No.
We're gonna spend time doing that, and how it's gonna build meaning for you and help you remember things.
Last page. Oh, did we finish reading?
I think we're on most of the 2,000 species.
Yeah, we are.
Alright, so most of the 2,000 species of fireflies live in the tropics. About 50 kinds of fireflies live in the United States and Canada. Each species sends its own specific mating signal, which never changes. A male, for example, may send 2 flashes of orange light, 1.5 seconds apart. A female of the same species answers with that same pattern 1 second later. Her signal tells the male that she recognizes his code and she is one of his species. Another kind of firefly flashes an orange light when it flies and green light when it's on the ground. After fireflies mate, the female's light goes out and she lays her eggs in the ground. So we've got the fireflies sending signals. Why do they do that?
So, because that's the only way. What he said, I guess.
Because they're, to get a mate, right? Some of the tiny larvae growing inside the eggs glow even before they hatch. These larvae are sometimes called glowworms. Once in a while, a toad or lizard eats so many fireflies that it too seems to glow like a nightlight. Have you seen that?
That'd be cool.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Along the shore of an island in Southeast Asia, one kind of firefly does the work of a lighthouse. There, thousands of fireflies live in mangrove trees close to the water's edge. Every night, when they flash their signals in the same steady rhythm, the light is so strong and constant that ships at sea can use it as a marker to steer a safe course. So we have 2 interesting stories here about fireflies. So we have nightlights and lighthouses. Can you picture what the author describes here?
Firefly flying, and spot is lit up, and like he's flying around as like a nightlight, and showing the light to all the other fireflies.
There are thousands of fireflies. Where are they living? What does it say?
Asia, Southeast Asia,
Okay.
and the US, and Canada,
And
Asia, US.
But if we're looking for the fireflies that are like the lighthouses,
Southeast Asia.
can you picture
like
what
a
the author's
big,
describing?
big firefly.
You think it's a big firefly just in the middle of the sky?
I think
Flying
there's
around.
a bunch of them.
What does it
It's like
say?
a
Let's look back at the text here. What does it say?
Along the shore of an island in Southeast Asia, one kind of firefly does the work of a lighthouse.
I think we need to keep reading though. We just don't have the answer.
Oh, they are at the tree line of the shores, and they all have the same rhythm, and they're so bright that ships out at sea can steer.
There are thousands of fireflies in a mangrove tree.
Live in mangrove trees close to the water's edge. So you have these trees that what? They're like almost,
Holes in them, and
they have all these bugs, right? All these fireflies in them, and it's just kind of glowing. So that's what they're saying. It looks like
a lighthouse.
a lighthouse. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about what we learned from our reading today. So what do you think Marjorie Facklum why do you think Marjorie Facklum puts the ants and the fireflies in the same chapter?
Just because they all have a way to communicate.
They all have pheromones.
They all have pheromones?
And they have mating signals and that's signals.
Okay, so I think they're 2 separate things though, right? Because not everything, do the fireflies use pheromones?
No.
No. Okay, so we used pheromones and we used, what did the fireflies use?
Light.
Lights. Okay. So they'll use lights for that.
I don't think fireflies through each other's bodies. That would get under.
So what was another name for the light though? What did they call it? So they had pheromones and
Glowworms.
it's an
Well, that was
L.
the egg.
Luciferin.
Luciferin, good. Okay. So what's similar between pheromones and luciferin?
Excuse the interruption. The following
Pheromones
is
are
please
just
come
like,
to the office.
like,
What'd you
Report
say?
health check.
One goes and the other doesn't.
All right, one glows, the other doesn't. That's a difference. What's the same?
they both are used to find each
Lydia
other
Williams.
and tell each other stuff.
Spencer Johnson.
Such as, can you be more specific?
Like danger,
Jenna Quinlan.
mating,
Rachel Sparks.
food.
Allison Mayer. And Sarah Colby.
Okay, so what do those things do? Remember I talked about that umbrella? So all those things fit under that umbrella. What's the big idea above it though? Signals and communication, right? That's how they communicate with one another. They can't talk like we do. So they use pheromones and they use luciferin to communicate with one another, okay? All right, so we have communication. What else what's the same?
Like for just those two?
For pheromones and luciferin, what are some similarities between them?
They're for one type.
Right, of
Species.
species, good, so we have communicate, species. They're both what? They're like
Signals.
if you were to touch it, what would it be? What is it? Is it hard, is it soft, is it
They don't probably be soft.
soft?
It's probably,
Squishy.
you'd probably glow. Most likely.
Do they talk about what it is, what a pheromone is in the article?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is it? Ooh, it's at the top of page 8, I see, right on the, fourth line.
These chemicals.
Chemical. Is luciferin the chemical too, did it say?
Yes.
It is, I don't know.
No,
Hang
it's
on.
it says a substance.
The substance, I'm pretty sure,
Isn't
what,
that the same thing?
yeah, it's gonna be a chemical. So they're both chemicals. Where do they come from? What's similar about where
The
abdomen? Abdomen, good. And then we talked about mating signals. And then how are they, we said they're different because one's light, one is,
Later, squishy, jelly, whatever you like.
gross.
would you say more have what? More animals have which one?
I'm
gonna say-
Pheromones? How do you know that?
Because she used the whole list.
'Cause
and
she
only
listed.
did the fire
And
signs.
I don't see a lot of animals that glow.
All right.
So that's what it was.
Good, perfect. All right, let's finish these last